Alright, dreamers, gather round. Let's get into it. This is your host, and today we're not just analyzing a dream, we're decoding a full-blown high-voltage, cosmic dream download that came through for the collective. This one is layered, and it's all about the cascade of blessings that's lining up for you right now. I'm about to break down exactly how I process this stuff, so you can start to see the patterns in your own nightly visions. So, this message came through loud and clear. It starts with this promise of a chain reaction, a full chain of blessings, and it emphasizes that it starts small. First, you get a small blessing, and it's done. It's concrete, it's real. That small blessing isn't the end game. Its entire job is to act as a magnet, an attractor field for the next, bigger wave of abundance. It's the primer for the pump. And the dream says this process is going to feel fast, seem like overnight fast. It's all going to click into place, and you're going to be in this state of awe, just observing how everything is aligning, watching the dominoes fall perfectly after you set that first one in motion. But here's where it gets real. The dream gets very poignant about this. There will be people, oh yes, there will be people who see your big, shiny, overnight success and they'll downplay it. They'll say, that's it, or you just got lucky. The dream is very clear on why. They're only seeing the final product, the big catch. They didn't see the hidden work, the smaller blessings you accumulated along the way that made the big one possible. They're thinking from a place of what's in it for me. And because your blessing doesn't directly benefit them in the way they want, they'll try to diminish it. The message is fierce here. This is your blessing. You don't owe the harvest to anyone. If they think it's not enough, you are under zero obligation to share it. Protect your energy. Now, let's get into the metaphor the dream used because it's brilliant. This is how you analyze dream symbolism. People take a concept and see what picture your subconscious paints for it. The dream said, think of it like fishing. You have your tools, your rod, your net, your light that's your skills, your project, your intuition, your purpose. You cast your line, and what do you get first? A small fish. Maybe it's a small financial win, a bit of recognition, a new connection. To some, that small fish might seem insignificant, but you don't waste it. You don't just say, well, that's enough. You use that small fish as bait. You invest that little win, that little bit of capital, whether it's financial, social, or emotional land. You cast your line again, now for a bigger fish. Then you catch bigger fish, then bigger one. You don't just say, well, that's enough. You use that small fish as bait. You invest that little win, that little bit of capital, whether it's financial, social, or emotional land. You cast your line again, now for a bigger fish. You'll find something amazing. Inside that big fish's stomach are two other, smaller fish. Those are the hidden blessings. The skills you learned on the first catch, the confidence you gained, the lessons from the process. Those are yours and yours alone. The outside world only sees the one big fish, but you know about the three that it took to get there. That's the whole story. Let's talk about process. Let's talk about the structure of a blessing. Today, we're breaking down a powerful concept that came through a recent channeling, and it's all about the mechanics of how big things actually get built. It's a counter-argument to the myth of the overnight success, and it uses one of the cleanest metaphors I've heard in a while, the metaphor of the three fish. This is about understanding the layered nature of achievement. So let's walk through it, step by step. It starts with what looks, to the outside world, like a very small thing. You invest a little bit of money. You sacrifice a little bit of time. You learn a new, small skill. This is your initial investment, your first cast of the line. And what you pull up is your first fish. It's modest. It's a small return. Maybe it's a freelance gig, a tiny profit on an idea, a few people noticing your work. Now, you have a choice. You can take that first fish, cook it, eat it, and be done. That's one path. But the process described here is different. You see that first fish not as dinner, but as superior bait. You resist the immediate gratification. You take that small success, the money, the credibility, the experience, and you reinvest all of it. You use that first fish to catch a second one. The second fish is noticeably bigger. It's a larger project, a more significant return on investment. a broader audience. You've now compounded your initial effort, but again, you're not stopping. You take that second, larger fish, and you use it as bait for the third and final cast. This is the strategic deployment of everything you've built so far. And this is when you land the big one, the major contract, the breakthrough opportunity, the significant financial milestone. This is the one everyone sees. And this is where the metaphor gets absolutely brilliant. To everyone else, they just see you holding one enormous fish. They see the final outcome. They have no concept of the process. So when you achieve this, some will inevitably downplay it. They'll say, it's not that much, or you just got lucky. But you know the truth. When you clean the big fish, when you sit down to analyze what you've actually accomplished, you make a discovery. Inside the stomach of the third fish is the second fish, and inside the second fish is the first. You didn't just catch one big fish. You are holding the entire chain of your success in your hands. The final achievement plus all the embedded value of the steps it took to get there. The initial investment, the learned skill, the small win, it's all still there, hidden within the larger structure. So when you're standing there, holding this complete multi-layered success, and someone who contributed nothing to the process, maybe even doubted you, makes a comment about how it's not enough, or implies you should be sharing it with them, you have a moment of clarity. You look at what you're holding. You realize the sheer volume of sacrifice and strategy it represents. And you get to ask yourself a very sober, very important question. Do they truly deserve this? The message isn't telling you to be selfish. It's telling you to be discerning. It's reminding you that what you have is more than enough to share, but that sharing is a privilege you extend, not an obligation you fulfill. It is a conscious choice reserved for those who respect the process, not just the outcome. Protect the structure of your blessings, nourish them, and invest them wisely in your next chapter. That's the breakdown. If you want to learn how to decode these kinds of layered messages in your own dreams and meditations, make sure you're following along and subscribe. The dream's final instructions are crucial. When this all comes together for you, and it will, you have to speak your truth. Speak your mind to your throat chakra, it said. Communicate clearly, own your success, and then nourish it. This next part is vital. Spend it wisely. Don't blow it all on a big, flashy celebration that drains the energy away. Nourish the blessing. Invest it back into yourself and your next chapter. This isn't the finale. It's fuel for the next level. So, that's how I break it down. I take the emotional clues. I unpack the metaphors. I look for the practical advice hidden in the weird symbolism. Your dreams aren't just random movies. They're strategic life manuals coded in the language of your soul. Start paying attention to your own dreams. What symbols keep showing up? What's the feeling when you wake up? That's your starting point. This was a powerful one. If you want to dive deeper and learn how to analyze your own dreams, make sure you follow along. We've got upcoming videos where we'll break down the step-by-step process to unlock your own nightly downloads. Until next time, dream loud.